Welcome to your favorite part of the neighborhood, the Cul-Ture-Sac. And today we have a lot of stuff that we're going to try to talk about today. There's so much that we need to get off of our chest and a lot of stuff we're excited for. But first, as you know, there's four of us. One of us is not here today. He doesn't feel too well, Jeremy. So we're going to see him next episode when he's well rested. But I want to introduce the two of my best friends. The first one, his name is Marbo.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Mark out here celebrating Father's Day like he doesn't have a dad.
Oh, ironic. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So yeah, that was my day today. It was a pretty good day. But Brandon, you look really good, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's welcome
insane.
let's welcome our other co-host, my best friend of over 15 years already. He is looking right now like The Rock dipped in white chocolate in that photo at UM in the 90s. How we doing today, my boy?
Easy white chocolate. Doing pretty
Easy.
good, bro. I just got back from a little, a little haul. I went to like 3 different Goodwills. Had the day to myself, pretty much. Got some little goodies here and there. Nothing too crazy, but
It sounds like Camel celebrated Father's Day for himself today.
That's insane.
yeah, bro. My little baby's outside. Evie.
Oh yeah. So Camel has this beautiful, beautiful black Labrador that we've known for like 10 years. She's like she is the official mascot of the group at this point. So, as you guys know, I definitely didn't have a productive day like you guys today, but I did end up seeing The Flash yesterday. For the way the movie started was really dope. The opening sequence was really good. It didn't feel like there was a lot that they had to explain. Yeah, it led straight to action. With this movie, the moment I saw the first 5 minutes, I kind of felt like I wasn't seeing Barry Allen as the Flash. I felt like I was seeing Ezra Miller as the Flash, which was a little frustrating for me. Only in the sense that the guy literally almost burned down the whole island of Hawaii like if it was a volcano. You know what I mean?
That motherfucker was going through rampages.
Yeah, he's been in a couple conflicts, a lot of issues.
I
I tried to look past that watching this movie. Um, but for me, I just felt like Ezra Miller's personality
Does it
was
fit the
more.
Flash?
Uh, yeah, like I'll be honest, I enjoyed Grant Gustin's version of the Flash more. Here's the thing: I think Ezra Miller is such a good actor. Because there's times in this movie where his the Flash would have these moments of vulnerability. And I'm gonna give a non-spoiler review, guys, just for you guys watching. I don't want you guys to not to like end the video because you guys think I'm gonna let everything out. But this is a spoiler-free review.
Yeah, he wants you to see this movie. He wants everybody to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bro.
already,
He's gonna
I
see that
already
shit tomorrow with
ready.
us.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
don't
see
give
it.
a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to this, but so that was one thing for me that I really I wanted to talk to you guys about was I felt like this was just had Ezra Miller's handprints all over the Flash. It was hard for me to feel like I was watching Barry Allen. Seeing Grant seeing Grant Gustin as Barry Allen was was a lot more enjoyable for me as a DC fan. I just think that uh Grant Gustin got a shit end of the stick when it came to the show because things got stale as the more
Yeah.
seasons progressed. But I felt like he was a more true interpretation of who Barry Allen is. You know what I mean? He's a little bit sly, very serious. He's Barry Allen is one of those. Yeah, Barry Allen's one of those characters where he's like a trauma-induced character. He lost his parent. He lost his mom. Technically, both his parents. His dad. He lost his mom and his dad the same day. Um, he tries to do forensics to help his dad get out of jail. Um, and you just see like there's a seriousness to the character, and there's a sense of what if I played God? You know what I mean? That's always been the beauty of the Flash is what if I
Yeah.
played God? So this movie had one act to it. There was a part in the movie that was really frustrating for me because it kind of felt like we forgot about the calamity of the events that just happened and we just started to try to be funny. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it didn't feel forced. It just felt like within the flip of a switch, it went from being a superhero movie to trying to like put some super bad slash Seth Rogen humor in there.
Mm.
But it
So
just but
like
it
a
was
Thor movie?
no, it was
Not
no,
worse.
no, way better. Shot on Thor.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Thor was ass. You have Chris
Talking
Worth.
about you, Taika.
Yeah, you destroyed Thor's character, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. But I don't want to get into that because then I'm gonna look like a player hater, and I'm not a player hater. But
The Reverse Flash is gonna come for you. That's the case.
I am the Reverse Flash. But now
It
I
was
wasn't gonna
me,
say
Barry.
it was me all along. But those funny scenes were nice. I just felt like they were too extended
Oh, okay.
Mm.
because it felt like a full act. It felt like we got 10, 15 minutes of just
Jokes.
let's get jokes 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes of jokes in a row.
Right.
And but I won't lie, it was the most laughs I've ever seen in a superhero movie that I've been to. I can't lie. I won't like there everybody was laughing. So
That's good.
so like I said, the theater was a little bit smaller. Maybe it was because I got IMAX, and maybe I got a weird time because it was 8:30. I just want to say that, but it was packed because it was the theater. The movie theaters overall was packed. I saw that the regular times were full, so I'm just trying to. I fingers crossed it was just me. But so yeah, so it was funny, but I'm not gonna lie, I did get annoyed because it felt like I was getting too much of Ezra Miller as Flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I wasn't getting Barry Allen. I was getting a lot of Ezra Miller. And but like I said, he would get you to this point, at least for me, where I would get a little annoyed with the character, a little bit burnt out, and then I would be pulled right back in because he would have these moments of seriousness where it was like, oh, there's layers to this character. And I'm not gonna lie, everybody around him stole the show as well. One thing that I really enjoyed was um
Say
it's
it.
not a spoiler.
Say it.
Supergirl.
Ooh, Supergirl.
Yeah, I have this.
Real question though. Real quick.
Go ahead.
Which one played the better Supergirl?
Definitely this one
This one for sure.
for sure.
I'm hearing like everybody say this Supergirl's great.
Sasha Calle, from the moment you see her on the screen, I love the fact that she's Hispanic, just like us. That's something that we could all root for. On top of that, I felt like you guys know that I have this deep embedded hatred for Superman that runs back to when I was like 4 or 5.
I thought you loved Superman.
No,
Eric loves Superman and Captain America.
Yeah.
I rooted. Listen, when I saw, sometimes when I'm in a shitty mood, I'll watch that clip of Doomsday just killing Superman.
This guy's a villain for real. I have that comic book though.
Yeah, bro.
Just give
Yeah,
it
I
to
have
him.
it
Got it for
framed.
$1.
Yeah, because that's what every Superman comic is worth, $1.
Hey man, shout out to Corco's Comics for that one, bro.
Yeah, we support your local comic book shop, guys.
Okay,
But,
to Supergirl.
but yeah, so
Yeah.
for Supergirl, one thing that I really loved about her character is she was the thing that I felt frustrated with Superman as a character for so long, which was the lack of depth sometimes for me.
Okay.
Not in the comics, because Superman in the comics, there's actually really dope comic runs for him, but I feel like we have yet to see that. You know what I mean? He just saves the world just to save the world. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's what you expect out of him. He's a good guy, and I kind of felt like we didn't really get that with this Supergirl, and I love that because she felt like there was a little bit of complexity to her, and then when you see her come around to the team, it was nice to see why she wanted to be a part of it. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it felt like there was impact in that. It wasn't just like, yeah, I'll join you guys to be the League of Super Friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was pretty dope. So she definitely stole the show. Not another thing that's not a spoiler.
Say it.
Michael Keaton, when he showed up,
Yes.
that theater roared as if it was sold out. The clapping was like for like 2 minutes straight. No lie, because as you guys know, I think Michael Keaton. This is how he moves because he can't fucking move his neck in that suit. Yeah, he literally looks like fucking Kurt Angle with a broken neck.
Right.
But
With a broken freaking neck.
but I will say, he stole the show as well. He made me forget that it was Michael Keaton under that cowl, and I felt like I was watching Batman. I definitely felt like he showed a lot of, he had a lot of moments where it was like, yeah, this is what you expect out of Batman. You know what I mean? Obviously, a lot of it is CGI, but I felt like with the Tim Burton Batman movies, because of the fighting style that because his cowl is stiff, the way he fought, like it didn't feel like a Batman type of. It didn't feel like faithful to the Batman character in terms of how he fights. So that was
Yeah.
always something I always complained about as a kid. But in this movie, I will say that action sequences, they're so good. They're definitely good.
They're top notch,
Um,
right?
they're definitely top notch throughout the whole movie. There's a lot of things that came with the. It was a very high pressure scenario. You know what I mean? In the sense that like everything felt do or death.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have just two more things that I want to get off my chest.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys that really love DC, both of you. Well, I know Marvel is a little bit. I mean, I know Marcos is a little bit Marvel heavy.
Yeah.
But I know he enjoys DC as much as we do. And Camel, you know how much you and me we used to go over to your house and just watch anything we could about DC.
Hell yeah, buddy.
There's
We used to go
there's
on
a
what was that channel on YouTube? Variant
comics,
Comics
variant comics, comic story, and all of them,
and
man.
the Bat in the Sun
Um,
and shit too. Yeah.
yeah, those were dope. Those were good times with you, man. I definitely feel like there's a lot of surprises that as superhero fans, as DC fans, will enjoy. Will
Oh yeah.
really enjoy. Like
Okay.
I genuinely felt like a little kid again in the sense that there was things that I saw where I was like, "Oh shit, this is this is what's cool about being a DC fan." It felt like they embraced their history, and I felt like you haven't seen that in a DC movie at all.
Right.
You haven't seen the embrace of history, and I feel like you see a lot of that in Marvel from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like
And
I feel
Marvel or
like
in DC?
in Marvel, like in the sense of like
Like Marvel actually sticks to the roots and shit.
no, more like I don't know, like the way Shield was introduced and stuff, and knowing that it was secretly there the whole time. Like those are the little
Yeah.
things that those are the
Like
little things.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, those are the little things that I feel like DC always needed to be better at
That
when
I
it comes
lacked
to
in and
their own
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the surprises were definitely worth it. I enjoyed it a lot. One thing that I do want to say that's very frustrating for me, I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter. Um, I'm so sick and tired of people.
Oh, please go
It's
off.
not
Please
only
go
on
off.
Twitter too, bro. Just keep on though.
This is the funniest
Yeah.
thing, bro. It's the funniest thing. I love Twitter, but go ahead, Eric. Please go off.
This shit is getting out of hand. Like the fact that there's people out here. The CGI looks a certain way. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, but
But
you saw a whole fucking Spy Kids movie for 2 hours and said it was all right. Like
Ant-Man
you know
or
what I
Thor?
mean? Both, bro.
Both.
Bro, Thor
you know what
felt
else
like
is the same shit? It's like
Thor
the same
felt
people
like,
that said, "Oh, CGI is horrible in the DC films." Yeah, but you're still out here like, "Oh, let's watch the Black Widow movie."
yeah, bro. And then nobody could. Everybody. That's the thing. And then the excuse for Marvel is, oh, Marvel has these really horrible deadlines for these VFX studios and all that. It's like, bro, go fuck off. And the thing is, Andy Machete talked about this. He literally announced. He goes, the CGI is purposely bad because time is warped. You're seeing things through Barry's eyes. Time is warped. It's not purposely bad, but the thing is you watch it and you can see how the way it is the way it is. It does look bad. I can't lie. It frustrates me. I watched it and I was like, I feel like this is CGI from the CW. This is me being completely unbiased and so serious right now.
Right.
It felt like CGI from CW. But what Andy Machete also made sense to me because if you're going super fast, time is technically warped because if you see how it works with the Flash, it does make sense. If Andy Machete is saying, okay, this is my baby, and we've seen him do CGI in a movie like It, and we see that it came out beautiful. If he's saying that that was something that was intentionally done, then just watch the movie for what it is and don't complain about it. I'm so serious. I'm so serious right now because Then there was this guy that I follow on Twitter. I'm calling him out. His name is like Blu-ray Angel 111 or something.
I know what you mean. Okay, go ahead.
Bro, this guy went viral on Twitter the other day because Korn and Kira. He posted himself. Oh, I'm at the Spider-Verse. I'm at Across the Spider-Verse movie. He had like 2 boxes of nacho, 1 large popcorn, and a bunch of candy. And then Korn goes, "Damn, bro, save some for the rest, fat ass." Some shit like that. And he
That's
shot.
some shit Jeremy would say though.
Yeah, he shot on the Flash in his first post, and then his next comments are good things that he said about the Flash.
Okay.
So it was just like, I'm not gonna listen to a guy whose pinned tweet is saying "Go watch Black Adam,"
Oh.
and it's a video of him and The Rock. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen. That's when I lose automatic respect for you. And then he started
Of course,
tweeting.
who the fuck wants to see The Rock play The Rock again, bro?
Yeah,
Same
bro. I'm not
shit
even.
over and over again.
He started tweeting. He started tweeting a bunch of stuff that he loves about the Flash, and how much he loves DC. But if you love DC and you talk about how much you know this, and that, then read the comics and understand how much of a big deal this is, because of the fact that there was no way for them to reset this mess that they got themselves into in the first place. And I thought the way that they set it up was I didn't even think that was possible, and I thought it was the best way to do it. I wasn't upset at it. The way that everything worked out, I wasn't upset at it. And we're in for a funny surprise towards the end. And I think Camel is gonna laugh at it. You're gonna laugh at it too, Marco. But I think we could also say, oh, this could possibly work out in the future as well.
Okay.
Because all it is just be a fan, man. I feel like nowadays everybody feels like they have to be clickbait and be hypercritical to get yeah. You get what I mean? Like people bond about being hypercritical. And for me, this movie had a lot of emotional layers to it. There was a scene where they put this specific song that was for this movie by Rosalia, and I thought it was really well put together. It was beautiful. Like, you get what I mean? Is the CGI funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie. It is. All jokes aside, it is. But you know what? If Andy Muschietti said that there was a method to his madness and that's what it is, then I'll believe it. Warner Brothers has never had an issue with CGI. Yeah, he's still laughing, bro.
Except for the Superman movie.
Bro, I'm still thinking about that tweet, bro. I'm sorry.
Not Superman. The Justice
Oh,
League
what
movie.
tweet? What tweet are you thinking about?
Oh, which one is it, Marco?
Bro, from that guy, bro. No, it's from that guy, bro. It's just funny. I'm just thinking about him with The Rock, and that's his
Bro, I
pin
unfollowed
tweet.
him. I literally unfollowed him after that. You're a hypocrite, bro. You're literally
Oh, that
a
was
hypocrite.
funny.
You're
Oh my
criticizing the Flash. You're criticizing the Flash. But then your pinned tweet is a video of you and The Rock sitting next to each other saying go watch Black Adam. Which is, I'm gonna leave that out there.
So,
You know what I mean?
I got you. So, overall, your overall thoughts and your score for The Flash.
I think if you're really into comic books, and you really appreciate DC as a whole,
Yeah?
you have to come into this movie with an open mind, in the sense of realizing that this movie is the only way we could bring in new characters and new circumstances into the DC universe. It definitely felt like the death of the DC extended universe, which I enjoyed. With that being said, there was a couple things that did frustrate me. Like I told you guys, I felt like it tried too hard to be a little too much like a Seth Rogen movie for a second,
Right.
and I also got frustrated with I felt like this Barry Allen that I got wasn't the Barry Allen that I loved. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's not the one we grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, it felt more like I was getting
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller mixed with Wally West.
Okay.
That's the thing, though. Wally West, he's a good Flash, though.
Justice League Wally West, the funny one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
so,
see.
all in all, if I were to do this 1 to 10, I'm not gonna um I'm not gonna try to be biased.
Right.
I think for me, um I know I posted on the IG yesterday 9 out of 10, but for me, I think it is an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think I think one thing that I enjoyed was that I felt like in No Way Home,
Hmm.
because they're the same type of movies, people coming from
Yeah.
different multiverses. In No Way Home, I really found it strange that like the plot device, the way it worked was strange. It was like, hey, here is all these formulas we could use to turn you guys into regular people again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was only
Yeah.
one of that was one of my few criticisms of No Way Home,
Right.
and I felt like this movie worked its way better. It worked its way around better around those types of things.
For sure.
So
Got it.
it was definitely an
Yeah.
8 out of 10. The score was really nice. It was really dope hearing the Tim Burton Batman score.
Right.
Yeah, bro. That Tim Burton score is like that's the one thing I really fucking love about like the Michael Keaton Batmans. It
Yeah,
was
and
is that theme. It feels like a Batman theme, you know?
The
yeah, of
Danny
course,
Elfman.
and I definitely felt like I got a little bit of Batman the animated series in there
Yeah. Danny Elfman doesn't miss Marco.
at all.
We
He's.
know who else he made.
I'll be honest. I think he kind of missed with Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, that's different though. Everything
I
misses Doctor
disagree.
Strange.
I
You
disagree.
disagree? Okay.
I enjoyed that score, but yeah. So this guy's out here criticizing the Flash, but he has a pinned tweet of Black Adam. Go watch Black Adam with your family. It's a little critical when you realize that that movie was a shit show. All jokes aside, so to me, I feel like I can't trust you on being biased or not, and it's a little frustrating when the tweets are you're tweeting all the negative things first, and then your next tweets, which are comments on the original tweet, are a thread of you saying good things. So it kind of feels like a little bit of clickbait.
Right.
Yep.
Um, I'm not calling him out or anything because I don't know the guy, but to me, I just feel like people like that who have so much of a pull when it comes to the superhero world are a little bit frustrating. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, he said, "Oh, go watch the movie on your own," but that's like me telling you, "Yo, Marco, this burger, the worst burger I've ever had. Don't eat it." But you know what? You should try it out. Yeah. So that's my initial thoughts. I thought this movie sets DC up good if you try to be open minded to it and you try to see what they're trying to do. I wanted to ask you guys, what are the things that you hope this movie has, and how do you feel this movie might end?
I'm looking at this kind of like a Flash paradox type of thing. You know, you get Barry Allen, you know, just doing Barry Allen things, you know, so like, you know, it's forensics and then like, you know, he goes back and somehow he goes back in time. You know, I can't remember how it is, but I haven't seen that movie since I was like a junior in high school.
Yeah, that movie came out a
It's been a
while ago.
while. Yeah, so I'm going in there hoping it's kind of like a flashpoint in a way, like with some elements. That's what I was seeing, like at least like in the trailer. That's what it looked like to me. So I want to see how they tackle that. Obviously, you know, Batfleck's in the movie, Michael Keaton's in the movie. We got Supergirl. So I'm trying to see if maybe they do some type of similarities, like maybe Michael Keaton's, maybe like Thomas Wayne instead of Bruce Wayne. Maybe they did some type of like little plot twist type of thing. I don't know. You know, I mean, I'm gonna figure that out tomorrow. As far as Ben Affleck's Batman, you know, I know it's the same Batman from Justice League and you know Batman vs Superman. Supergirl, I want to see how she acts. You know, because I'm like comparing it to like how I've seen in the what is it, Justice League Unlimited, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that she's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see if maybe it's kind of like that one. Uh, Ezra Miller, you know, like now that Eric's telling me how he's kind of being like Barry, like instead of being Barry Allen, like, cause I agreed with Eric on this. Grant Gustin for me is Barry Allen. He is the Flash. Like he played Flash perfectly. Obviously, they picked the wrong person to play the Flash. For me personally, I've never liked him as the Flash.
From the
Maybe
jump.
like in yeah, like I always looked at him. I was like, bro, Barry Allen has you know he doesn't look nothing like Barry Allen. They like even did like photoshops of him. I couldn't see it, and I was just like, oh okay. I mean, you know, hopefully Hopefully he does good. Like another thing that I'm kind of hoping for is how are they gonna introduce the new characters like you were telling me, and how they had to kill the DCEU for this movie. I want to see how they do all that, and obviously I'm curious what you mean, but I'm gonna laugh like at the end.
Yeah, I was
But
very satisfied.
me personally, though, like if I had to do, I would probably hope that maybe next time they do a Flash or some type of thing, Ezra Miller's not gonna be that. It's just me. I never liked him, but
Um,
I think you mean
yeah,
spoiler free.
I think you mean them. I don't think you like them.
all I could say is I just think that we're definitely gonna continue with Ezra Miller as the Flash. That's
Oh, I doubt that 100%. I don't. I think after this movie, it's over. He's not. After this movie, they're not coming back. They did too much in Hawaii. There's too much.
That motherfucker caused mayhem, bro.
Yeah, there's too much baggage there. As for me, I'm expecting this movie to be great. I'm trusting Eric on this. Obviously, uh, if he sets it an 8 out of 10, I'm expecting it to be an 8 out of 10. From what I saw from the trailers, it looked great. I loved everything I've seen from the trailers. I've been avoiding spoilers, but everybody's post like I've seen like I've tried to like avoid screenshots and everything. So whenever I'm on Twitter, I'm trying to like I'm covering my phone. Um, but yeah, I'm expecting to really like this movie. Eric did say it was funny. I want it to be funny. I want to laugh. He did say the action was
yeah,
great. I'm expecting the action to be great. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, and I'm also expecting it to be like very emotional. I saw in the trailer, I saw like a little snippet of Barry with his, yeah, of Barry with his mom, and that looks like it could be an emotional scene. If Eric said it's emotional, I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. But yeah, no, we're gonna see it tomorrow. And then in the next episode, we're all gonna give you our thoughts. Eric's also gonna like after a while, like I'm pretty sure next week you're gonna see it multiple times, so you're gonna have more
yeah,
thoughts about it. But yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, as for me, yeah, that's pretty much it.
yeah. I definitely think it's a movie that everybody should go watch. I think that this is one of those movies where you'll feel like you'll get more bang for your buck than any other superhero movie that's come out this year. This to me, in my eyes, this is the best superhero movie that has come out this year.
Oh, that's
We,
okay.
I mean,
Wait,
what
better
else?
in better in Spider-Man and
You talking about
Guardians?
Shazam? You think it's better than
Oh
Shazam
no, well, no
What
way,
about Black
home,
Adam?
or Ant
no
Man?
way home, no way home didn't come out this year, but I think Guardians of
No,
the Galaxy.
bro, the Across the Spider-Verse.
Or
Oh,
Guardians? Or Guardians? Or Guardians?
Yeah, those
it,
those are the only two good movies that came out superhero wise.
it's behind those two.
So
It's top three.
okay.
I'm
It's top.
Well,
expecting it. I'm
is there
expecting
any
it to be
other
very
movie
good.
coming out? Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle. We have to watch
Yeah,
that too
Blue
when
Beetle.
it comes out. They're coming out this
James,
year, right?
yeah, James Gunn is very high on Blue Beetle. But
Yeah.
All right. If
remember,
James Gunn says it's good, then
but James Gunn also said this about the Flash. He says that I remember he tweeted, I think, where he was like, "If you're a comic reader, you'll enjoy this Flash." And I think I get it.
He's very
Now.
he's very confident in
if
this movie
if I
because
hear James Gunn say that, then
I understand. I understand why he's confident because the way, look, like I said, there was a point in this movie where I was a little frustrated and I felt I was getting worried because I was like, "Don't tell me DC is gonna disappoint me." But it made up for it towards the end. Like I said, we already know. Mark already talked about it. There's a scene that's emotional between Barry and his mom. Um, so for me personally speaking, I will say this is I felt like there was a part in the movie where I asked myself, why is it that this is everything that he wanted, but it doesn't seem like it's the focus of the movie? And it felt like it was kind of like we were getting distracted by other things. You know what I mean? I just felt like that there was that act where it was just all comedy it was a little frustrating. That's all. But with that being said, watch Flash with your family, watch it with your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. And we're gonna watch it this weekend again, and we'll come back with our initial thoughts. Another thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, Batman: The Brave and the Bold already has a director officially. It was reported by Variety. James Gunn talked about it as well. It looks like we are getting Andy Muschietti to direct this movie. So I feel like I'm pretty excited about that.
I was gonna bring that up because that must mean that James Gunn is very confident in the Flash, and he's very confident that Batman, like that he can bring his own sensibilities to Batman. I heard a lot that how he uses Batman in the Flash was great, and so that's probably why he's gonna direct this one. I gotta see the movie before I can really like 100% like. I'm gonna go by your word, Eric. That obviously is a great choice, and I'm hearing a lot of great things about this movie. But I have to see the movie first. I am very excited though about this choice, because I do like it.
Right.
It is a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also know how much Batman means to me. Sorry, Camel's still frozen, so I'm hoping we get him back.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, you know how much Batman means to me, so I definitely feel like we're gonna get the best that we can out of Andy Muschietti. We also have to remember that the superhero genre is very unforgiving, and to make something that satisfies all walks of the earth when it comes to the superhero genre is a little bit difficult because everybody's gonna want different things. You know, these are characters that have been around for 60 years, 70 years probably, and there's been so many different illustrations, iterations, drawings, designs, writings of them. So it's one of those things where I felt like for someone who had so much on his plate when it comes to this movie, remember there was a carousel of directors that were attached to this movie before him. We're talking about, I think there was like, I counted, there was maybe like 5 to 8 directors before we settled on Andy Muschietti.
Yeah, there was a lot, way too much.
Yeah.
It's just like if you can handle like a lot of the emotional scenes in the Flash, and if a lot of like the great parts of the Flash is Batman, then yeah, I think this is a good choice. I did mention about the horror aspect. Obviously, he's gonna handle that extremely well. But yeah, I'm dying to see the Flash because I want to see this movie. Everyone's talking about it, and I need to see this.
Yeah.
I need to see this movie. So Brandon, Andy Muschietti, he's going to be directing Batman: Brave and the Bold. Obviously, you haven't seen the Flash yet, so you can't really give your whole like 100% opinions on it. But you have seen it, right?
No, I've never seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Camel's not
Not a big.
Oh, that's right. He's not a horror guy. I'll just
more
say
of like an action movie, like
Right.
drama type.
I'll just say it
Right.
is great. Like the first It was incredible. So Andy Muschietti is the Batman.
I mean, what he did
For
with those
Batman.
movies were, what he did with those It movies were really dope because I felt like, personally speaking, I know Jordan Peele has this effect, but I felt like Andy Muschietti made those It movies feel like blockbuster films,
Right.
and that was really cool. But as you guys know, Brave and the Bold is this beautiful comic where it really brings in Damian Wayne and the dynamic between him and Bruce. All I will say about the Flash movie is everybody has a chance at redemption.
Okay.
When it comes to Batman, I just want you guys to be very open-minded
Okay.
with what could happen, and just realize this is 2023, and everybody has a chance at redemption. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. We all give our thoughts on Andy Muschietti.
All right.
So,
What's the next
Marcos,
topic? What's the next topic?
I want you to tell me what you think about this because
Oh.
Sony announced 2 upcoming unnamed projects for Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask both of you, where do you think this goes from here? Because as we saw, I believe it was the vice president of Sony or the head director of Sony. I forget her name. I apologize. She had said, I don't remember. She had said that Miles Morales was going to be brought into the live action
Yeah.
aspect of Sony. Um, so we already know that a Madam Web movie's being made.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not that's not a it's that's already a named project.
Yeah,
So
these are
it's
two
definitely not
unannounced
that.
things. Yeah.
Exactly. So I wanted to get your feedback, boys. What do you guys think it is? Do you think it's two live action movies? Do you think this is gonna somehow tie into the Spider Verse and we're gonna get introduced to another universe? What do you guys think?
Well, I think so. The first one I think was like November 2024, and the second one was July or June of 2025. I think it's July of 2025. Um, in terms of what I think they can be, I hope I know for a fact that one of them is Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. I know for a fact.
Whoa.
I mean, it has to be. It has to be because No Way Home nearly made $2 billion. They've already announced that yeah, we're working on a Spider-Man 4, and July of 2025 would be an appropriate date for it. It's a good amount. It's like pretty far away that they can. That it seems that writing the script, filming, and doing the post production, it looks like it can hit that date. I don't think it's gonna be 2024 release. That's too soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It says June 8th, 2024.
June 8th. Is that the first one?
June 8th. That's the first one.
And
So
what's the second one?
I have a beat. The second one is June 27th, 2025. I feel like the.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like the. Wait, did I say June 8th?
Yeah. For the
My
first
bad,
one
I
you
meant
said.
November 8th.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first one is November 2024, which it could. I think it could be like a Sony villain movie.
I think I know who it is because it makes a little sense. The time period.
Yeah. I just think.
Venom 3.
You know what? It could be Venom 3 because they technically didn't announce a Venom 3. Like obviously all of us know it's coming, but they didn't really like officially say Venom 3 is coming out in November. Like all of us know it's coming.
It might be a tie-in since because like remember they mentioned it. I mean, at the end scene of No Way Home, there's the whole symbiote. Like he went to Mexico and he was like, "Oh, I'm in a different universe." And
Right.
there's this guy, an Iron Man, and Thanos, and blah blah blah, and like a whole bunch of stuff like that. So it might be a Venom 3 because remember Venom usually comes out around like October,
November.
early November.
You're right.
So
yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
I completely forgot. When I searched it up, it popped up. The other one I'm seeing here, remember they announced Bad Bunny to be El Muerto, which is like the whole luchador thing and whatever. So I'm not really looking forward to that.
They gotta cancel it. There's no way you're doing a Mortal movie. He only had 2 issues in the comics. He's barely a character. He's more of like a relevant action figure.
So that's the one. That I know. So Venom 3 sounds a little interesting for that one, for me at least. And I know a lot of people
makes the most sense.
Yeah, that one I could understand. The June 27th release for 2025, that one might be up in the air for me. It could be a lot of things, I kind of hoping for, if I had to pick, I would go for like a Sinister 6 movie.
I think it's a Spider-Man movie. I really do.
You think it's a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Is a June?
I don't think they're gonna do
a June release is typically where they want to put the Spider-Man movies on. Homecoming and Far From Home both had like June-July releases, and 2025
and the OG Spider-Man ones came on in May.
But like the thing is that like 2025 seems like a good date to put a Spider-Man movie on. The only problem is that it's going to be competing with Superman, but that's probably the only obstacle it has. I think because I know Batman comes out like in October of that year, or November, I believe. I'm not really sure. It comes out later of the year.
It might be October.
It could be October, which is a great release date for it. I kind of want it.
Watch it be Beyond the Spider-Verse.
No, that'd be great, but they already have Beyond the Spider-Verse officially as March of next year, which they could delay. But as of right now, officially is March of next year. I'm happy for live action, but like after Spider-Verse, I kind of want more animated stuff. I really want more animated stuff. I'm excited. If Venom 3 is that November date, it's appropriate. I'm excited for it. I like the first 2.
Me too.
I can't wait for it. Spider-Man 4, it makes sense. The last Spider-Man movie, Tom Holland wise, made a lot of money. Everybody liked it. Yeah, and they're not, and Sony's not dumb. They're gonna make money, and they want to make money. They want another $1 billion check from the fans. So, yeah, 2025 date is appropriate. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Brandon, you hit it right on the head. Of Venom 3. I think it's gonna be November. Spider-Man 4. I think it's gonna be June, right? I think you said June or July.
June June 27th, 2025.
Yeah, that's a Spider-Man date. Yeah, it's Spider-Man. It's a placeholder day for sure until like the writer's strike is over. They want to have that date already set in, right? So yeah.
I definitely
you,
feel
Eric?
like it. I think this is a. I think one of them is actually going to be a Miles Morales film.
You think so?
I think-
Oh,
I think with the success of the animated Spider-Verse and with the success that they've had with the video games and how much of the importance. Let's be honest. When the first Spider-Man came out, the first video game by Insomniac, I really didn't think. None of us really thought that Miles Morales was going to be such a big factor.
Yeah.
I agree.
We're going.
Bro, I enjoyed
What-
playing that Miles Morales game. It was pretty short though. That was my only complaint for that one.
They did that on
Yeah,
purpose, though. They did that very much on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
I agree.
Spider-Man 2.5.
Yeah, it was it's Spider-Man 1.5. I completely
My bad,
agree. Yeah,
That's what I meant to say.
yeah.
I definitely think that I'm glad that they did that. But we're seeing the importance that I feel like Sony's marketing strategy with Miles is genius. You know what I mean? Because I kind of feel like what's going on with Sony is, I feel like they still have rights to Spider-Man, and they share that with Marvel when it comes to Tom Holland Spider-Man and all that. But I really feel like Miles is their real gem right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
It's what's making them the most money, and they're in the comics. There's timelines where they're both alive, and I think it works out well for them because, like I said, there's so much that they could do with Miles the character, and I feel like you introduced Morbius, which is I don't want to talk about that ever again.
Billion.
They introduced. They introduced. They're making this Craven movie. Venom has already been introduced. There's a lot of stuff you could do, and it'd be cool if maybe Sony does that with Miles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what if you do it? I know that in Morbius, and there's a like some graffiti art that looks like Toby Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah, that they cut out.
Yeah,
the
they yeah. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, what if they do this cool thing where Miles is alive in the same timeline as either Andrew or Toby? If you bring Toby or Andrew back, and then you introduce Miles, that'd be a cool way to connect to the game somehow because you play as both in the game, and people could be like, "What if we saw that on live screen on the live screen? Live action." And then the same thing goes for the Spider-Verse. We see a little bit of that with Peter B. Parker and Miles. And Andrew and Toby have both said that they're open to coming back. They've never really said that they're not down to do it. So I think it'd be cool if Sony really does this because I definitely think Miles makes the money. There's no ifs, ands, or doubts about that. Miles makes the money.
Right.
So
Sony needs to cast Miles Brown as Miles Morales. Not just because they
agree.
should, but realistically, the kid looks like Miles, like Morales. Like he looks like. To me, he kind of, in a way, resembles the one from what's the one with Drake Bell? Unlimited, but no. Ultimate Spider-Man?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He
He resembles a mix of that Miles Morales that they called Arachnid Kid or some shit like that.
Right.
And the one
Spidey.
from Insomniac. Yeah. Spidey.
Yeah. So for me, I definitely think Sony is really going to try to push this out from now on. I think they realize that they have gold in their hands, and I feel like they're kind of tired of people viewing Spider-Man as more, at least Tom Holland's Spider-Man, as more of a Marvel thing than a Sony thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
If
I
if
think
you
they're
guys had
tired of
to
it.
pick though, who would you pick to come back though?
I think
Eric was saying.
I think for me, I feel like if you do it with Andrew, I feel like Andrew's a better emotional actor. I feel like when it comes to Andrew, I feel like he'd be the best when it comes to the Big Brother role.
For sure. What about you, Marco?
I think it'd be.
Oh,
I
my bad,
think.
Eric.
No, you're good. I was yawning.
Eric's crying right now because I cut him off. My bad, Eric, bro.
I think
No,
it'd be.
I was yawning.
I actually agree with Eric. I think with Toby, I'd prefer Toby to have a daughter, and have him train his daughter. I want Andrew to have Miles. So yeah, I think Andrew would make the most sense, and if anything, it could lead to a third movie, which I think he deserves. But yeah, Andrew.
Exactly. You know he. Could...
My
Oh
bad.
shit! What are you?
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
On contract, contrary to past episodes, I actually would want Andrew for this one too.
Right.
So we're all three of us right now are in agreement for Andrew.
Yeah.
If that were the case, I personally like how like a lot of people want, like obviously like we've been getting more Andrew love lately, from No Way Home with the Across the Spider-Verse, Andrew, like I love Toby, he's always gonna be my number one, but I really do like Andrew also as Spider-Man. I see him like when I see Spider-Man, obviously the first one I'm gonna think about is always gonna be Toby, no matter how old I am, whatever. That's the one I grew up with. But like accurately looking wise, I'm gonna go with Andrew on this one, and just so that way also it'll kind of be like giving him that part 3 that he never received. You know what I mean?
He deserved it. Andrew Spider-Man meant the most to Andrew out of all 3 actors. But
that's our thoughts on the Spider-Man on Sony announcing the two movies. So on to the next topic. Eric, you're gonna love this one.
Yeah, why don't you guys sit back, relax a little, and heed these words.
All right, go ahead.
So, as you guys know, especially you guys watching at home, Summer Game Fest happened, E3 happened, and there was 2 things that had correlation. Those presentations: Final Fantasy and Spider-Man. Now, Camel, I want you to talk to me about something because all 3 of us have different experiences with Final Fantasy. Marcos is a late bloomer in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Camel. Sorry, I burped into the mic. That was very unhygienic.
I didn't hear it. It's fine. You're good.
Camel, you've played the original Final Fantasy. You've played remakes of so many Final Fantasies. I want to ask you, what does Final Fantasy mean to you overall? And I know you have felt that lately Final Fantasy has lacked a sense of consistency. Are you at least a little excited to play this Final Fantasy 16?
Yes, I am actually. So when we saw that horrible Sony showcase, we all saw like that preview for Final Fantasy 16 when it came out, and we all said, "Yo, this game looks fire. What is this?"
It's very good.
And we were all like wondering what it was. Like it looked cool. It looked kind of like an Elden Ring, and you guys know me. I'm into like all that like medieval looking type of thing. It depends if it's a good story, Even though I played Elden Ring for like maybe a day or 2, and I said, "Yo, I'm not playing this shit, bro. I keep on dying." Those games are hard, bro. I can't play those games.
Right.
I don't care if you guys play. Yo, there's people that play that crap like your cousin, bro, Eric. Yo, your cousin beat Elden Ring. Carl's a goat for that, for real. Twice?
Yeah.
Yo,
he 100%.
Oh, yeah. Hell nah, bro. Yo, Carl's a different breed, for real. Nah, but like seriously, like I'm into all those like medieval games. Like they're all pretty. Like they all have like pretty good stories. Like for the most part, like some majority. There's some that are not good, and there's some that are really good. Some medieval games for me. Kind of like a Legend of Zelda type of vibe. That's what I felt like when I saw this one. It was like a Legend of Zelda, kind of like a Final Fantasy. Well, obviously, it is a Final Fantasy. So for me, that's what it felt like. I was like, okay, this looks very interesting. Obviously, I haven't seen the Game Fest, actually. I was kind of busy that day when it came out, so I couldn't even see it. I still haven't even seen it because I forgot. I put it off. But as far as Final Fantasy 16 goes, it looks really good, and I'm kind of excited to see, and you told me the backstory for more or less like the like a summary of it, Eric. And when you told me the summary, I was like, okay, I'm gonna check out the game. You told me to download the the demo, which I still haven't done, just because
on.
I've been playing Shattered Dimensions, bro. I'm on that right now. That was another person I wanted to see for maybe like untitled the unannounced Spider-Man thing. Maybe like a Miguel Har or like a Noir, but that's besides the point. Yeah, man. When I finish Shattered Dimensions, I'll probably download Final Fantasy 16 the demo just to play it, just to see like how I'm feeling with it, because it depends sometimes with like the whole gameplay and like how it plays and the mechanics of the game. I mean, I trust your word and I trust Marco's word because I know Marco was interested in it too. I don't know if he's downloaded the demo or not,
No, I haven't.
but no. Then well,
Yeah.
I'll trust Eric's word on this one
Yeah.
then. But yeah, that's for me is like how I'm feeling for Final Fantasy 16. As far as Final Fantasy, what it means to me, it has a special place in my heart because that's my dad's favorite anime game series, and it's very he introduced me to it. He introduced me to Kingdom Hearts. He introduced me to Final Fantasy. So we'll see how it goes. Like I'm pretty excited to see how this game is gonna be, and yeah, it's like a sentimental type of thing for me. It reminds me of my dad.
It reminds me of my dad too.
Yeah,
Why are you smiling?
I'm with your dad right now,
Yeah.
buddy. Look at him right here.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love that you said that, Camel. I love that you said that, Camel. I think um Final Fantasy is one of those games that we grew up with it. If you're a PlayStation kid and all that, you grew up with it. Someone who wasn't really a big PlayStation kid, but a Nintendo kid when they were younger was Marco.
No, I was a PlayStation kid. I just didn't. I had a PS2. I wasn't.
The
really
one that
playing-
wasn't a PlayStation kid is not here today, bro. He had the Xbox.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
the-
it's disgusting. As for me,
Oh, Halo boy.
Halo boy. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake and I loved it. I loved every second of that game. I love the
What'd you like
combat.
about it?
I love the combat. I love the world. I love the art style. I love the art style, like the art direction. I thought was absolutely beautiful. Like I
Yeah,
love.
bro. Cloud's the original like aesthetic god.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like the art style of the world and everything. Like it had like a mix of like of realism and like stylism, right? It looked like an anime
Yeah.
in a sense, but it looked really good. I'm excited to see where this game goes. Eric did talk about it. Offline, he talked to me about exactly what happens in like the combat and everything, and it excites me. I wish I can give more detail because, like I said, I've only played that Final Fantasy game, so I don't have that much history with it like Brandon or Eric does. But yeah, I think based on everything I've seen and based on like how the gameplay looks, this could be a game of the year contender, and I'm very excited to
It
see where this
definitely
goes.
is.
Um,
It is.
yeah, I'm very excited to see. I want to get my hands on this game really bad. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Eric, I know that you've been dying to play this game. You're the only one out of the three of us that actually tried the demo, so I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so for me, I think one thing that's really, really dope about Final Fantasy 16 is the way, well, Final Fantasy in general. What Final Fantasy does is it really elevated the expectations that we have on video games. After 7 came out, especially in the 90s, everybody wanted to follow that formula of like, let's make a main character that really breaks the mold of what you expect in a video game character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I felt like the from the 80s to the 90s and even early 2000s there was growing pains with video games because everything was so focused more on like how could graphics get better, how could gameplay get better, and then it kind of felt like we started to get watered down stories. But I think for me, one thing that was really exciting about Final Fantasy is it was like you were playing a cinematic masterpiece,
Mm-hmm.
where like you were playing a movie and a game all at once, and that was really crazy. And a lot of people forget, especially like new Final Fantasy players, this was a turn-based game like Pokemon originally,
Yeah.
Right.
and a lot of people like Square Enix gave people what they wanted, which was like, I'll be honest, like everybody's always wondered, man, what if I played Final Fantasy like in a setting like a real combat setting, and we got that. Now this game for me, I feel like Camel and I love these type of characters that are like very broken, but there's more layers behind them.
Oh
Marco
yeah,
too.
buddy. That's why I like Miguel O'Hara and the Cross the Spider-Man.
Yeah. One character that I feel like, as you guys know, Final Fantasy is really synonymous with getting these giant swords with these main characters.
Bro, the swords are
Um,
hard though.
yeah, these swords. So they talked about it. It was actually inspired by Berserk. Um,
Go.
yeah, like Cloud and the all black suit and the big blade was inspired by Berserk and Guts. But this game really feels it's inspired by Berserk.
Right.
Uh, he's
Yeah,
wearing
like the
all
whole setting and stuff.
he's wearing all black armor. He has this internal thing with him that is just a different. It's like he becomes primordial. Like I said, in this game, you get to play as Clive. It's not like Final Fantasy VII the remake where you play as the support characters as well. You only play as Clive.
Right.
You have your best friend with you, Torgal, which is this like wolf hybrid dog that you raised since you were a kid. And one thing that Final Fantasy did, which is interesting, Camel and Marco, you're playing from when you were 14 all the way till you're 34 in this game, which is crazy. It's
Right,
really
so
crazy.
right.
Yeah, so one thing that I enjoy is I feel like we're really gonna get attached to these characters, and I really feel like I'm just playing like a mixture of Seven Deadly Sins mixed with Berserk, mixed with Final Fantasy. The score in this game was flawless. I literally, I was I was playing that demo, and I just felt like I was just like I was in that world. I was instilled in that world, and I was really bummed out that it was a demo. Um, I really was. The way it starts off, you start off this scene in a desert, looking over the peaks of a mountain with three of your brethren you guys are all wearing all black suits. It looks like they're on a mission, and they're just seeing a sea of armies colliding with each other, and they're so powerful that they're meant to stop these armies.
Right.
And the thing with Clive is Clive has this like he has this demon inside of him that he can't really control. And say what you want, I'm a sucker for some of those anime tropes, man. And the fact that we're gonna be playing as a 50-foot demon called Ifrit, which looks like a dragon, like what else more could you ask for? How many times have we wished that we gotten these anime games that come out and we wish they were true adaptations? Marcos has a whole video that went viral with 50,000 views of talking about the state of anime games and how they suck right now. And this literally feels like you're getting an anime game mixed with Final Fantasy, and it's all I could ask for. And on
Right.
top of that, when you finish the demo, your progress saves. So when you buy the game, those 2 hours that you play the demo, you play the rest of the game already with those 2 hours saved.
Oh. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
Nice.
if you exactly. So if you guys want to play it, the demo is free 99. Um, it's literally the best demo I've ever played. It's right up there with Arkham. I wish that this game lasted longer. There was actually something on Twitter that was trending called the Final Fantasy effect, where people were shitting on this game before it even came out. And then when the demo came out, there was people that posted all the tweets of other people that shat on the game before they played the demo, and the people that once the demo came out, they were like, "Oh, I can't wait to play it." Yeah, yeah. So obviously, I'm giving a very. I don't want people at home to be screaming at me and saying you don't know shit about Final Fantasy. I'm just giving a very general consensus about the game, just because I want to play it and I want to play with my homies. I want like at the same time, so everybody knows, like everybody's on the same journey together, so we could see what this game is like. But yeah. So I'm really excited for this game. I think this is game of the year. I'm more excited for this game than I am Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
The only thing is Marco can't play the demo.
Yeah, it's for PS5 only.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Marco has the 5.
The GS5.
Yeah, and then it's gonna come out for Final Fantasy 16 comes out on PC in a year.
Yeah.
So as to that, we're on to our final topic, which is actually the topic of the podcast. Should the MCU be rebooted? This is a topic that I kind of talked about offline. Um, Eric already mentioned it like at the earlier. The MCU hasn't been as hot lately as all of us would have liked. Obviously, the exception would be Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which all of us here really enjoyed. I thought it was a great movie, but overall,
Yeah.
yeah, Phase 4 now Phase 5 has not been that great. We'll see how the Marvels will do. Um, but yeah, no, like I think a lot of stuff has been happening. Like obviously the stuff with Kang, the actor, how he's apparently like in court with a whole bunch of accusations of him assaulting a woman. So that's a massive problem. Just recently, actually, the guy who played Namor in Black Panther in
Got accused of sexual assault.
yeah, in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, he's another one that was accused for sexual assault. So that could be a massive problem. Obviously, the writer's strike is having everything on hold and delayed. Avengers, and I think both Avengers movies was delayed like a year. So yeah, like this is a problem, and obviously the multiverse, like the Marvel Studios multiverse saga or whatever they want to call it, has not been good. I would say it was extremely disappointing. Crap, this is what happens. It's been extremely disappointing. Um, I don't know, man. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like, is it time to just say let's reboot the damn thing and just start over? I mean, or not? I know we still have Tom Holland Spider-Man to look forward to. They're still doing Fantastic Four, Blade, which I don't even know if that movie's gonna get made, because they're gonna push it back. And
This is all ridiculous, by the way.
yeah, it's just this is the most problems they've had ever since they started. Ever since the first Iron Man, like this is the most problems they've had.
This is literally all a joke. The fact that they still are trying to figure out this whole casting director stuff for Fantastic Four is ridiculous. This movie was announced. They've put this up for what, 2 years already, two and a half
4 years.
years.
No, it's been 4. It's been 4 years since they announced it.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is a joke. You're working on movies like the fucking. Sorry, edit that out. You're working on movies like the Marvels. You're working on all this type of stuff. You're working on She-Hulk. All these things. It's out of hand. It's absurd at this point. You're wasting people's time. You're wasting money on things that are not. You're not getting rewards. You're not getting benefits out of out of your work, and it's just it's gotten out of hand at this point. We're working. What are you doing? Like, you had Chris Evans. Same thing. They're making this movie with Anthony Mackie and Captain America and all that. That doesn't let the character just die. All jokes aside. No, all jokes aside. Like all jokes aside. Like it's not even It's not even like my hatred for Captain America. It's just. What's the point? Like, so what? We're gonna have an Iron Heart now? Like, just let the character die and then do what you planned on doing. What do you no? And then on top of that, they're bringing Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk supposedly. Like, this is what this is what we're doing. You need to bring. This is the issue. Everything is just like let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
And I just think it's annoying already. I feel like it's getting so watered down, and it's exhausting because they always brag about, oh, we have these. They have their next 3 phases planned out after Endgame.
Do they?
They
Because
have, yeah.
The only movie that's been good for Marvel has been Spider-Man.
I thought Shang-Chi was pretty good. And Guardians.
And Guardians, right? But besides Guardians, all the movies. Shang-Chi was probably the only one out of the entire that little era that they've been releasing movies.
What are they gonna do with that? What are they gonna do with that?
I've never heard of Shang-Chi before the movie came out.
It's okay, no.
That was everybody with Guardians of the Galaxy too.
That's true. That's true.
That was everybody with Guardians.
Guardians is completely different. But yeah,
nobody was excited when Guardians of the Galaxy was announced.
Everybody's like, yo, this movie's kind of good.
Shang-Chi was really good, but all I can say is this is, I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm frustrated because The way Endgame ended was beautiful, and it should have been left that way. It should have
Yep.
been left that way. Iron Man should have passed away the way that he did. Chris Evans, I don't know why he gets a happy ending with that dumbass character. It's ridiculous. Dude shows no that guy is an egomaniac, bro. He shows no sense. The dude doesn't even cry for his quote unquote best friend. And then on top of that, but if it was Bucky, he'd cry to death. That shit's ridiculous, bro. And on top of that, you've had so many phases planned out. We have no news on Blade. We have you wasted money making She-Hulk. And what's the other one? What is it called? Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie's gonna fall. I'm telling you right now.
That was ridiculous. Then we did Captain Marvel. Those are three shows that were ridiculous. There was
Captain
no point
Marvel movie, though.
Huh?
Was it Captain Marvel the movie with Brie Larson?
Captain Marvel
Yeah,
was
that
a
was-
movie.
But
Yeah.
that was ridiculous too. That was ridiculous too.
Movie
That,
ass.
there was
I don't
there
like
was
Brie Larson.
there was way better ways to introduce the scrolls. The scrolls are a big deal. You could have introduced them other ways, way better ways. And the thing is, it's not that. I feel like we talk about Marvel being so good. I think one thing that Marvel really doesn't do well is female characters. I feel like the level of adaptation for male characters and female characters it's very levied in my eyes. I feel like female characters deserve a little bit more respect because She-Hulk is a really dope character to work with, and they just shat on that character.
Right.
Captain
Yeah.
Marvel does not need a movie, and if you're gonna make a movie with her, make it be good. That's what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I remember everybody was like, "Why does this need a movie? It's not a core. It's not a core IP." You know what I mean? And they made it work, and they made it matter. I don't feel that way towards Captain Marvel. I don't. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it's okay, fine. Kevin Feige talks about, oh, maybe we had too many products come out, too much product come out. Yeah, they should have. And then the whole thing with like trying to include all these shows as a part of the timeline.
It's
So you're gonna
stupid.
you're gonna make a masterpiece like No Way Home, and then we're gonna have to introduce She-Hulk into this universe. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then the same thing. Like, look, if America Chavez was a TV show, everybody would be annoyed with that. But they made her matter. They
Mhm.
introduced her into Stranger Things. She got her 15, 20 minutes, and it was dope.
Right.
Why don't we just do that with Miss Marvel and see what audience thinks about it before you give someone a whole show? I thought, for example, Moon Knight with Oscar Isaac should have been a movie instead. Why was it a show? I thought, you get what I mean? And then on top of that, Spider-Man is the key cog in all of this for these next few phases. He connects the Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's been the glue, has been holding Marvel these past few things, honestly.
Yeah, so for me, I feel like they should have really hyper-focused on that, and it's ridiculous. This Fantastic Four shenanigans is a joke at this point. Like, this is all a joke. Like, it's taken this long to get the cast done and directors. They've rewritten it a bunch of times already, or they've gotten different writers already. On top of that, we're talking about the X-Men. We have no updates on the X-Men or any of that at all.
Yeah.
So you think
Nothing.
they should?
No dead.
So you think they should
Yeah.
reboot?
I wouldn't say reboot, but I think they need to just find a way to just cut off some of this. They need to find a way to trim off some of the fat.
All right. All right. So you're no for reboot.
No, like same thing. Like, that Black Widow movie was atrocious.
Right.
But you know what? A Black Widow show would have been better than a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Brandon, how about you? You think they should reboot or not?
I think they should do a lot of things, but for me personally, I believe they should do a soft reboot. Very soft reboot. Like, I mean, very soft. Like, to the point where it's like they fix the issues that they have, you know? For me personally, like, I just think, like Eric's been saying, you know, the She-Hulk show for She-Hulk is very, like, the Hulk universe in general is a very, very good story. Like when well put together. Look at the Incredible Hulk in 2008. You know, like once that had happened, and then you know he got introduced into Iron Man, and when it came out, you know, Iron Man at the end like pulled up. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm making a team." You know, like where was all this, like all that good writing that happened up until No Way Home? Where are those writers? Because those writers are not writing these trash, all these trash ass movies that's being out.
I'll tell you what it
Fucking
is.
what is it?
What it is that I think Marvel's too confident, and Kevin Feige have been too confident in what they make lately, so they just hire anybody. I genuinely believe that because there's name to me the director of some of these movies and you can't name
Taika.
them. Yeah, that's another person that I don't ever want to see him touch Thor ever again.
They should
Ever
definitely
again.
Thor. They should do maybe a try. I don't know. Try to see like somehow.
That character, no matter what they do with Thor, the next movie that comes out is not going to do well in the box office.
It's not. They need
It's
to.
not going to do well.
They need to see like one type of being to just. I don't know. Maybe Thanos was right, bro. I'm saying it. Maybe Thanos was fucking right. At this fucking point, Thanos was fucking right. Thanos was really the fucking hero of Marvel. Or my
The
bad,
only,
Marvel. That's
look,
what they've been.
the only way I watch a movie like the Marvels is if they introduce Silver Surfer. Make it matter. Make it matter.
Um,
They
Honestly,
need a thing to just kill like these very unimportant characters. Honestly,
yeah, and then it's
they
just
can't.
it's one of those things where they can't reboot it. I don't think they could reboot it. I think they're too far into the hole. Um,
That's why
especially
they need a way, like maybe like kind of like how the DCU's doing, where like they're like murdering its thing, but like you know obviously like the Flash and stuff. Like we said, you know we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, like Marvel has been really shitty lately. Like it's been horrible. The way they introduced Daredevil and the She-Hulk, distasteful. You know, like the way Netflix did it with you know like the whole Daredevil and then they introduced the Punisher. That was great. That
Right.
was really good. Like that writing was it was phenomenal. But now you see like these horrible like movies, fucking Black Widow coming out, that horrible CGI. The story doesn't matter. For me, like Black Panther 2, I didn't care for it. Obviously, like I think what's his name? Chadwick Boseman?
yeah,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Yeah, bro. Go. You know, he made part one matter. Part one was the shit, you know? Fucking like the best part of that part of part two was literally seeing Michael B. Jordan. That was the best part. Because the whole movie, I did not care for it. I thought it was like okay.
I don't think it was needed to make a second one. I think
Like
it
it,
would have been
they could have done it a lot like in a way better like story. They could
they could have started off one of the movies with the funeral for Black Panther and do this beautiful tribute.
have they could have done something. But as far as that, like Marvel's really dropping the ball lately. The only thing that's been holding it has literally been Spider-Man and Guardians. Because everything in between, trash. Literally trash. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're releasing too much projects in too little time. They're not taking his time like how they did. They should do what they went back to.
Nah.
Which was it, Marco? Like two movies a year, maybe?
Yeah, 2 movies a year.
Like two,
No,
three,
they,
yeah.
They should go back to 2 movies a year.
They should
But
do that.
But I also think they can't take their time no more because they've taken their time. It's been 4 years and we have nothing for Fantastic Four. They've taken too long with a lot of. We have no update on Wolverine, no update on X-Men, nothing on any of that.
Nothing. And obviously the writer's strike is just gonna push and delay this shit even further. Like, bro,
Marvel said it best. We have nothing on Blade either.
yeah.
I'm actually surprised
You know
you
what it
guys.
is?
What happened?
You know what it is that like we Marvel like and Disney like acquired Fox, you know? So like how like what year was it? Like 2019? 2018?
2019.
Right, yeah, imagine 2019 We're in 2023. We're like midway into the year. No Deadpool's part 3. Like nothing on that. Obviously, I know that the writer strike is happening, and that's that. But yeah, like no Fantastic Four. There's no characters that really like matter. Like when you think of Marvel, the first few characters you're gonna think Spider-Man, Iron Man, Wolverine, Hulk. All these characters that are like, yo, these are those are him. The it characters. Nobody's gonna give 3 shits about Miss Marvel or the Marvels. Nobody cares.
Well, I disagree on that because, like I said, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. I just think it's quality. It's just
That's
quality.
true.
It's lack
You know
of
what?
quality.
Like, think about it. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a movie with this person, and when it comes, kind of like, okay.
I just didn't like. I didn't like their interpretation of Black Widow. I didn't like their interpretation of Captain Marvel. I felt like Black Widow's a really badass character, and I saw a little bit of. I thought she could have been more badass than what we were given. That movie I felt was. What was the point of coming out with a movie if she was already dead?
Yeah.
That was a waste of time. It
didn't really matter to me either.
Yeah, Black Widow deserved the movie when she was alive.
So, I'm actually surprised hearing your answers because I think they should full reboot. Just cancel it. Cancel everything. I'm not excited for Avengers. I'm not excited for Fantastic Four as of now. The thing with Spider-Man is it's Sony's. Sony can easily put him out, and the way No Way Home ended, you can easily just retcon it, have Spider-Man by himself, or have him fit in another world. The way No Way Home ended, like, made it so easy for Sony to just pluck him out the universe. Daredevil is probably the only thing, but like if you're gonna reboot the whole thing. I can survive without Daredevil, even though
I think they should
heart.
Thanos the fucking
no,
projects.
No, like reboot the whole thing. I don't want to do the thing where like you half reboot or you keep some characters, because that's how the DCU got fucked up. Because they wanted to like have their cake and eat it too. Wonder Woman did great, but they wanted to do like this reboot, so they messed up, and that's why it's been 10 years of like of just controversy after controversy. So if you're gonna reboot, just reboot the whole thing. Iron Man is dead. Captain America is gone. And honestly, this works way better because then you can restart, have all your characters fresh, right? You have you have Spider-Man that's already a full-fledged Spider-Man. You have Iron Man. You have all these characters. You have now Fantastic Four back. You have Daredevil back. You can actually have a proper Marvel universe instead of what they were doing. They had to use their B-listers. Now they have everybody now, pretty much. I mean, besides Spider-Man, but they can always sign a deal with Sony. But yeah, no, just reboot the whole thing. Just reboot the whole thing. I'm not excited for Avengers.
Who the fuck are they? The corpses?
They set up all the setup was bad, and then they have so much controversies. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. Blade, the actor is pushing fucking like 60. I think he's about to be like, he's in his mid-50s. He's getting way too old, and that movie's not gonna come out for another 5 years. So yeah,
I didn't know he was that old.
He was pretty. Mahershala Ali is pretty old. He was old in 2019, and this movie's not gonna come out for another 4 years. So
I just think it's embarrassing. I think we're so hard on DC, and I feel like we need to have the same type of energy for Marvel.
Yeah. So just I think they should full reboot. The only thing that would hurt me is Daredevil, but Daredevil was a standalone property. You can retcon that to be a standalone property, so it won't be that bad. So yeah, reboot.
And you know what? Maybe I get in trouble, but I'm okay with saying this. I'm okay without Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with doing someone else like Spider-Man.
I think the way No Way Home ended, I think you can have somebody else. I don't mind. I would prefer to see Tom Holland, but if they want to reboot it, that's up to them. I want to see Spider-Man like in college or like graduated from college. No, I think we all know that they're definitely not gonna reboot it, for sure. No, it made way too much money. It's not gonna happen. But if it happens, it happens. It's just how it goes. But yeah, that's all our thoughts. Eric, you want them to kind of fix it, but not reboot it yet. Brandon, you want to do a soft reboot. I want them to reboot the whole thing. They already have the Infinity Saga. They have their ending. Everything else has kind of been,
Mid.
yeah, the Squidward when he was riding his bicycle and he fell off a
Midville.
cliff. That's
Yeah.
pretty much been the MCU up to this point. But yeah, no, that's honestly that's pretty much it, really, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
think Marvel has a lot of stuff. I think Marvel has a lot of stuff to work on, and they're. I just think that they kind of like became. They're very lethargic lately. Everything doesn't feel like it's there.
Yeah,
Everything feels very slow, and I just feel like at the pace that we're going, we're not gonna get any good movies for a while.
right, right. I agree.
And I feel like Kevin Feige is gonna be very stressed these next few months slash years,
Right.
especially with. I feel like now
It's
DC may
been
have.
I fucking
Yeah.
airline's getting paid the fuck back more than these movies.
I feel, and I feel like now DC has reached a point where they have the upper hand because the way they have the next 10 years planned seem a little bit more coordinated than what Marvel has.
Right.
I don't I don't think we're gonna get Wolverine in a movie for the next 3 years, 2 years. I don't know. I just think I think if you're I think I don't have superhero fatigue. I have Marvel fatigue.
Midville.
Um and I know I may sound biased from time to time, but believe it or not, I am not. I really do love Spider-Man. The Ultimate Spider-Man is one of my top three favorite comic runs of all time. I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight is Ghost Rider. Robbie Reyes is my favorite comic book of all time.
Right.
So, um, I'm hopeful that they get their shit together because at this point, I feel like a lot of people are gonna get tired. What could you say is gonna be the next big Marvel movie? Spider-Man 4, and that comes out in 2 years. That's scary.
Even then, that's a Sony movie, if anything. It's like, what's the next
Yeah,
Marvel only Disney project? I can't give you an answer. Um,
that's scary. That's very scary.
but yeah, yeah, that's so
Yeah,
much our thoughts on this topic.
yeah, and I want you guys to comment down below. What do you guys think that should happen when it comes to Marvel? What do you guys want them to do?
Yeah, for sure. Please let us know. I think we should have a discussion in the comments. But yeah,
For sure.
But yeah, so my name is Eric. As you guys know, I'm the Puerto Reaper, and you can find me on YouTube under that name. To my right, obviously it may look different through his screen, is none
well,
other than the most educated reviewer of all time,
um,
Marble.
actually, I think you're right on the money because I am too, right? So that's good. Yeah, you guys can find me on my YouTube channel at Marble. It's very simple. Um, I am in the middle of writing my script for my next video, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, this has been a great podcast episode. We've talked about a lot. I can't wait to see the Flash tomorrow. That's gonna be incredible. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Brandon, and this is me sending out. Saying out.
This is Bama signing out. Like I said, hopefully, we get to interact with a lot of you guys watching this. Especially we'd like to see what your output is for Marvel. In terms of like, should they reboot? Should they soft reboot? Should they just leave it alone and just figure out and cut the fat? Yeah, pretty excited to see what you guys have to say. What we're gonna see in the future. Hopefully, better. That way we don't have to see more Midville shit. But yeah, man, this is Bamo signing out, and we're out.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week with our Flash Talk.